Hello, everyone. Welcome to Matt's Chats. Today's guest is Miss Fearsome. Sarah, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm feeling better, which is great. I love that I'm feeling better.
Awesome.
My voice is back to
Awesome.
normal.
Yeah,
For those two days,
good.
I sounded like this, and I was like, oh my god, because my throat was so dry, and I drank so much water, and I drank so much tea,
Yeah.
and just nothing.
You know what it was that was wrong with you? Or was it just a
I don't know.
sing
I have
thing?
no clue.
Mm.
I was just not feeling good. I was in bed for the 2 days, only getting up to get like tea, water, and food. But besides
Yeah.
that, nah, I just stayed in bed.
Oh. It was just a bug.
Yeah,
Have you got a kid? You
I
got a kid,
do.
haven't you?
Yes, I
Oh,
do. He is
probably from catching it from kids. That's what usually happens.
yeah, like it's funny. Our kids will get like they'll get sick, but they don't really show it, and you can't really tell. But then
No,
you'll get sick, and you're like, oh my god, I'm dying.
exactly. Yeah, that's how it works.
How many kids do you have?
Easy. It's one.
Just one.
It's one. Yeah, and he's here right now.
Oh yeah.
Running around in his his underwear. Say pants. That's in America is trousers, isn't it? So I should say pants.
You can say whatever you want. If I'm confused about something, I will be like, "Hey, what did you mean?" Like,
No, no, vice versa.
how old is he?
Three, no. He's 9 in November.
Wow.
He's got the cat in his hands. He keeps picking the cat up and lobbing her around.
So he's a November baby.
He is, yeah.
I'm a November baby.
Are you?
Yeah,
What date are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, he's the fourth.
Oh, okay, so he's the beginning of November. I'm like the ass end.
Yeah, yeah. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm pretty young. How old are you?
I'm 38 this summer.
Oh my gosh, that's cool. Like I'm only 25.
So
Um,
it wasn't like, oh my gosh, you're so old.
No, no, I don't. I don't really think people are old until they reach like 55. Then you're like actually
See, no,
starting to get on the scale of, older. I don't.
yeah.
I
See,
think I
old to
think
me is
old.
80.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think old is like 70 to 80. Um,
Yeah,
50 anything below, like 50 to 70 is kind of you know, the middle age going to older, and then like 70 and plus you're kind of you're old. I mean, you've been on the span
yeah,
of 70 years, bro. That's old. It's a long
yeah,
time.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's not out of
yeah.
disrespect. It's just a good way to categorize it.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, I see 50s now as well as like a new life, like because your kids have grown up and
Yeah.
it's like freedom. So it's like I find it's something to look forward to actually, like
Yeah.
in a way. Not that I'm, wanting to get there really quickly. I'm just saying, once you get there, it's like, yes, now I've got newfound freedom. I can go off and travel and do all sorts of things. So
You can be young
looking
again
forward to.
without much responsibility.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, like, back in the 70s, 60s, and 50s, when you reached 50 years old, that was considered old because we didn't have the technology we have
Yeah.
now. And so the life
Yeah,
expectancy
exactly.
back then was like 60 to 70. People did live older, but
Yeah.
the average expectancy was 60 to 70. And now the average expectancy is 80 to 100, which is crazy.
No, no, it's mad, and that's why there's so many. I'll say too many people on the planet, but don't say that, can you?
There's too many people on the planet. We got 8 billion people, bro. Like,
Yeah,
that's a lot of
yeah,
people.
there's a lot of people. But to be fair, there is space for everybody,
Barely.
really.
Barely.
There should be enough resources for everybody too.
No, there's not.
Just there's too many. You don't think so?
No. Come on, we're cutting down the
Say so.
we're cutting down the rainforest to, make more resources, but we're not replanting those resources. So we're
Oh,
literally running out of
yeah, but
resources.
we were to, which this is talking on a level that is almost impossible now. If us as humans were able to live on a level, where we didn't need so much, if we lived on a really basic level, like how they did, say, 100 or so years ago, there would probably be enough resources for everybody.
Oh, I
You know what I
absolutely
mean?
agree. I think if people
Yeah.
like stopped, you know, wasting so much and stopped
Yeah. Yeah.
needing so much to live, then I think people would be. Yeah, I think the world would be better off. I think we'd have enough
Yeah.
resources.
That's what
But
that's what I mean on that level. That's
yeah,
that on that level, then there would be enough resources. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying on that
I
as it
think
is now.
yeah, as it is now, people are needing too much and needing more than what this planet really has to offer, and that's the problem.
Yeah,
I think if people started
definitely.
really recycling and really tried to go back to a lot of basics and not need it so much, and we
Mm,
stopped making so much,
yeah.
like plastic and whatnot, we would,
Oh
the planet
God,
would be better
yeah.
off. Yeah. But
Yeah. I was
we,
talking to my sister about that earlier. I just couldn't believe how much plastic I actually throw away. Like I have to recycle. It's ridiculous.
yeah, people go through so much more plastic than they realize, and it's crazy.
No.
There's literally an island, like, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that's huge, just full of trash and plastic.
Yeah,
And
it's really sad.
it is. And we're not doing anything to
Anyway,
clean it up.
do we move on to something a bit
Cheery.
more nicer? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sunny day here. I
The
don't know.
world, it's sunny here. It's overcast here, but it's really, really warm.
Is it?
Like, I mean, we're in central Spain, so it's going to be hot, but yeah, it's quite sort of, that kind of warmth that you get before like a storm, where it's quite muggy. We call it
Yeah.
muggy. And yeah, so but it's nice though. I'm not complaining.
It is 77 degrees here and sunny.
Excellent.
My son loves it.
It's good. I'm just looking at mine now to see what it is. um, should know because yeah, 70 here. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's only like a 7-degree difference halfway across the world.
yeah, yeah. My husband's just walked in.
Oh, really?
His gardening equipment on. He's been outside in the garden, so
Oh, you guys are gardeners?
try to be. Try, yeah.
It's not
Doing our
easy.
best. We're trying to grow. No, it was a full-time job.
Oh, yeah.
Busy.
It's
Trying to grow vegetables and
it's not easy to be a gardener. I grew up doing it
no.
and I don't do it anymore. It's a lot of work. And I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Not, not
Yeah.
unless I have like a
It is
greenhouse or
rewarding,
something.
but mm. I like to go out and I'll prune things and make things look pretty, but from that, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So, what has it been like for you
Yeah.
doing YouTube? Is it, what's it like for you?
I don't know how to answer that really. Quite a broad question. It's been good. It's been very good. It's been long. I started the Miss Fearsome channel. Did I start it? I started it quite a few years ago.
Really?
And yeah, and then I just stopped. I wasn't getting quick results because you don't do that. You don't get quick results. I stopped it and I thought, no. A year or so later, I thought, no, I'll start it up again. I was getting good feedback when I was doing it, so I thought, no, I'll really go at it this time. Oh yeah, and then that was 2 years ago, and it's growing quite nicely now. Um, yeah, no, it's really cool because I mean I'm at home with my boy, so I don't have a full-time job or anything. I'm a housewife, so I did have that time to be able to concentrate on it. Um, yeah, really enjoying it.
So, what is it like to see your channel grow for you?
Awesome. It's really exciting
How
because
many?
it's like it's a quick.
No, no, go ahead. Sorry. I was burping.
Sorry. Um, okay. What was I saying?
Of something
What
walk
was I
out of the
saying?
room next door.
Oh,
It's mum brain
you were
now.
saying about what it's been like to watch your channel grow.
Oh yeah, no. But it's a really cool way to work because you can see on a daily basis, you're getting more views and more subscribers and everything else. But it's really satisfying. It's like a quick reward. I'm trying to think of the words now. I can't think of the right words. You know what I mean?
I do, and I've been watching your videos, and I
Yeah.
really like your narration tone, and your well,
Thank you.
how you do your narrations. It's quite exciting, and you're
Thank
really
you.
good at it.
Hmm.
Now,
Thank you.
your channel is at
So no,
5,000 subscribers. What is that like for you?
it's awesome. I mean, at the moment, I'm on average, I'm getting about 1,000 subscribers a month at the moment. So I
Wow.
keep going like this, then yeah, that's why I'm excited because it's like, it is growing quickly.
No, that's
You can
awesome,
kind
man.
of make, yeah, you can kind of make sort of projections on what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
If it's going at this rate as it is now, yeah. So it's really exciting.
Um, no, I'm actually like I'm in the same boat as you now. I can't say I'm getting a thousand a month. I wish, I wish I was getting a
Yeah.
thousand a month. But I've actually gotten to 211 in a month and a half. So,
It's
at
good.
the rate I'm going, I think I'll be doing. I think I'll hit 1,000 in my first year, which is what my goal is.
Yeah. How often do you put videos out?
Every day,
Hmm?
every single day.
Okay.
Except
Didn't
except I
realize that. I thought
the last one was 2 days ago, and then like it
just
was
because you've been ill.
yeah, and then I did Mr. Creepypasta and Midnight Researcher like a day apart, and then for those 2 days, and then it was Mortis, and then it was Lance, and then it was Magnetar, and then you know every day from that point.
Yeah.
But I'm actually
Cool.
changing my schedule. It's gonna be 2 videos a week because I'm oversaturating what I'm doing, and it's
Yeah.
instead of it being like, oh, he put out a video finally, it's he put out
Yeah.
another video. He does it every day, so I'm just gonna skip this one and go
Yeah.
to another one, and it's
It's quality, not quantity,
right,
isn't it?
right, and it's becoming too much quantity, and I think people are kind of getting numb to my videos. So I think for my mental health, my family's sake, and my channel's sake, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to 2 videos a week, and
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do a third at some point. I'm gonna work my way to three, but I'm trying to work on getting narrations out. But it's a lot of work.
Okay.
It's a lot of editing.
Yes.
It's a lot more work than doing
Yeah.
this, because this, I just have to plug into something, and it can just get rid of the background sound and make sound good.
Yeah.
But with the editing you have to do for narration, much, much more extreme, much harder, a lot of more work.
Yeah. The main there's the proofreading as well of the stories themselves because I mean I don't when I'm picking stories out I don't sit there and read like hundreds and hundreds of stories. I just can't do that. I just sort of message the people, ask them if I can use their story, then I read it. I know that's a bit risky, but it's worked out so far. So then I have to proofread the whole thing because sometimes obviously there's no punctuation or you know where we're all this sort of stuff. So I have to read through it, and sometimes I'll have to actually retype the majority of the story so that I can actually read it comfortably. Um, so that's a big thing. It's a
Yeah,
big part of doing it as well.
I
Um,
agree. The proofreading is important because my first narration I did for my channel was it was My New Friend, which was written by
mm,
PA Nightmares, who's a good friend of
mm,
mine, and I liked the story. It's about this kid who's being abused by his father, him and his mother, and so he goes out to the woods like he always does. He discovers this cave with a lake in it that has a mermaid that eats humans. Right.
oh,
He
that's
ends up
nice.
luring he ends up luring the father into there, and he watches this mermaid eat him. And there's more to the story, but that's just kind of like half the story. I just gave
The
you.
premise, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing
Sounds
is,
good.
when I was recording it and I was proofreading it, one thing that slipped my mind until I'd already recorded it, edited it, and it was ready to go.
Mm.
I listened back after I uploaded it, and I realized PA made a fatal mistake. He called it a pond. He then called it a lake, and then went back to pond.
Yeah.
And
Inconsistency. You've got to
yeah,
watch for all that sort of stuff.
it went past his editor. He will fully admit to the world that he's not great grammatically, and so he has someone who edits his
Mm.
stuff to make sure it's comprehensible and whatnot. And I respect that. Um,
Yeah.
but it had passed both his editor and me, and I'm a big English guy. I love English. It's one of my favorite subjects.
Hmm.
I've written a lot of papers, written a
Yeah.
lot of books, and it just went past me. So
Mm.
proofreading is definitely
Yeah.
important because I think it kind of
Yeah.
takes away from the story. You should actually reach out to
Yeah.
PA.
I
He's
mean,
got some good ideas and good stories.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might do. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's yeah. I was gonna say it's just with the punctuation and stuff because some people just don't put anything in. It's just like one long sentence.
Right. Well,
It's like I
he's
can't.
usually pretty good about that stuff.
Yeah.
It's more like his different phrasing, his different words. Like he'll say overcome instead of overcame, things like that. And he doesn't mind if
Oh my
you.
God, I do all the time. Yeah. People when people talk because I'm reading a story that happened in the past.
Right.
They're telling the story as if it's in present tense, and I'm like, no, that's not right. This happened a while ago, so you have to talk in past tense, not present
Right.
tense.
Right.
So I have to change all of that as well because I just can't. I'm like you. I'm big with English. I love English, and I have to get it right. And also the pacing as well because of how I myself talk and how I read. It has to be in line with how I am, if you see what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because some people, obviously, someone who's from India or somewhere else in Europe, and they're going to speak in English in a completely different way to how I do.
Right.
So it has to be comfortable for me to read. So, oh yeah, hard work.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of work, but it's always worth it though because
Yeah.
you can get out an amazing
Oh,
story.
yeah, definitely.
Um,
Yeah, definitely.
I'm really excited to get more narrations out, but I'm not excited for all the
Yeah.
editing. What I've been doing is you're fine. Instead of just making my own, I've just been working with others and lending my voice to other narrators, helping their
Hmm.
stories because it's a lot of work to edit. I don't really have the time
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
uh, even edit my own videos like half the
Mm.
time. So
Yeah. Well, I'm keeping with the length of my videos as well. I
oh
can't really do
yeah,
any more than an hour and a half to 2 hours. I can't do it at the moment. I mean, with our internet as it is, it takes about 15 hours to upload a video. One
really?
video. Yep. That's how
You're
bad it is.
you're joking. It takes like over half a
No.
day.
My routine will be that because of that, I have to upload every other day. Otherwise, I would upload every day. So I'll have one day where I will be preparing and proofreading stories. Then the next day, I will record and edit, and then put the video together, blah blah blah, and then put it up to upload on YouTube before I go to bed. And
Wow.
depending on how long the video is, if it's at the most, say 100, an hour and a half to 2 hours long, that would take up to 15 hours to upload.
What?
Yeah,
That's
it's really fucking
crazy.
bad. And I'm really surprised that I'm able to talk to you like this right now because it's been really bad. And this is one of the reasons why I haven't live streamed either since I've started because I'm just worried that it's just gonna fuck up
Hmm.
and that's just annoying.
Well, I'm glad it's working now because it's making a great
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
So, have you
Uh,
like personally ever experienced something supernatural?
Um, there's only one thing that I can think of, and it's really not that interesting. That living here in Spain right now, I don't know. Upstairs is a separate. It's going to be. I don't know how to, if I have to explain the whole thing to you. Upstairs is like a separate house.
Okay.
This house that we're living in was my husband's parents' house, and they've passed away now. Um, Before they passed away, downstairs was just a one massive garage, and upstairs was the house. So my husband moved here, and he changed the whole of the downstairs garage into another house. So essentially, we've got two houses now. Aren't connect They're connected outside, but we haven't got like an indoor staircase. So this was about a couple of years ago now. I went upstairs. I could hear a sort of white noise sound, like the radio that's not
Like the
tuned in. Yeah.
Okay.
And considering nobody's living up there, we only go up there for on the terrace or whatever. I heard this noise and I went up there and I was like, what's that? I mean, it sounds like a radio, but I've got no idea. I went in and there's this old hi-fi system, like really old. And so, like the push-in buttons where on the old systems where you'd have to really push it in.
Okay.
But that had been turned on. It's not like, anything could have sort of brushed past it or you could have accidentally turned it on. It was turned on. Someone had physically pushed it to turn it on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
So,
Was it plugged
yeah.
in?
Yeah, it was plugged in.
Okay.
It was all plugged in, but to be able to actually physically turn the radio on, you had to push this button. And
Oh.
nobody lives up there, and we hardly ever, at that time, we hardly ever went up there. So I don't know what that was about.
Wow.
Also,
That's creepy.
actually, now I'm thinking about it, also, you can hear what sounds like a door opening upstairs and closing every now and again.
Oh,
And my
that's
son's light as well. Get that my son's light makes a certain noise when it gets turned on and off, and you can hear it when you're sat in the living room. You can hear that going on, but I don't know whether that's anything supernatural or not. I don't really think about it, to be honest. Yeah, that one with the radio that freaked me out a little bit.
okay. Okay. Those are all kind of creepy though.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm not someone who really dwells on it. I just like, yeah, whatever.
we had some weird happen the other
Uh,
day. We have
yeah.
we have window blinds, right? The white ones, and
Huh?
ours don't have the rope on them. You just simply put your hand at the bottom and push up, and it stays. And if
Huh?
you want to pull it
Okay,
down,
yeah.
you have to actually like pull it, right? And
Yeah.
well, I'd had the one in our washroom, not our bathroom, but where we keep the washer and dryer for our clothes, all the way down
Hmm?
because it leads to the backyard, which you can see our neighbor's house, and he could see right in through one of his windows if he wanted. And I don't like that kind of, invasion of privacy, so I keep that down all the
Yeah, yeah.
time, 24/7. And I went by it the other night and noticed it was up, like halfway up the window. And I'm
Hmm.
like, so my wife was sitting next to me. I'm like, hey, honey, did you accidentally lift that, or did you lift that up for a reason? She's like, no, I haven't touched it. I haven't even been in there all day today.
Hmm.
I'm like, that's
Hmm.
kind of creepy, because it's way too tall for
Yeah.
my son to be able to. And plus, my son doesn't go in there because we don't let him in there, with all the
Yeah.
it's got lint on the floor and whatnot at times, and so it's just safety. We don't let him in there. He's got a
Yeah.
specific play area in the house where we keep him most of the time because he's got all his toys. But even so,
Yeah.
it's still too tall for him to reach. So someone would have
Yeah,
to.
well, those kind of blinds as well, you have to quite, yeah, they've got like a mechanism on them, haven't they? To when you pull it down, it sort of clicks in, and yeah.
Yeah. You have to like hold the top and like pull it down. But like
Mm.
to push it up, you just have to put your hand at the bottom, push it up. But even so, it still takes a little bit of effort. The wind can't do it.
Mm.
You can't just like accidentally hit it
Yeah,
with your
exactly.
butt and it goes up. So
Yeah.
it was very weird. Like it was just up, and my wife hadn't been in there all
Yeah.
day. I hadn't been in there, And I just thought it was weird. That door's locked, by the way, so no one could just go in and lift it and then leave. Like,
Makes it even weirder. Yeah. Oh my
yeah,
God. Yeah.
yeah. And those little things happen
Creepy.
around here. The other day, my
Who knows? Like, we have ghosts hanging around all the time. People just don't realize it. They could be just ghosts,
yeah.
like spirits everywhere
Oh yeah,
all the time.
I'm sure. I'm sure there's a lot. You know, people have been around on this earth for a long time. I'm sure there's probably
Yeah,
ghosts in most
it's a
corners of
bit.
the world, in most places.
Yeah, definitely.
But they just don't
Yeah.
make themselves as known because they have no need to. But the other day,
Yeah.
I got another weird one. Want to hear it?
Mhm. Yeah.
All right. So my son's closet door opened and shut on its own.
In front of you, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't have known.
No, I watched it through the baby camera when he
Uh,
was sleeping. It was when he was
oh my God.
sleeping. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I just watched it
And
open
creepier.
slightly and then shut it. And it was fully shut. You'd have to twist the knob.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
like,
even creepier, like with the baby camera thing, because
yeah.
yeah, that makes it really creepy.
And then one night I saw like these two ghostly hands reach in and like touch him and then just disappear. I mean, he was fine. Nothing weird happened. He didn't move. He moved.
Seriously?
Yeah, he moved like as if he was being touched in his sleep, but he didn't wake up.
Fuck.
Yeah, and it's always so quick.
Jesus.
I keep promising Mortis Media that next time I see something on the baby cam or whatever, I'm gonna record it and send it to him because he wants to see something paranormal. But like every time something
Yeah,
happens, it's
definitely.
so quick I can't get to my camera in time.
Uh,
um,
it sucks that the baby cam doesn't have a record thing on it, huh?
yes. I mean, some do,
Yeah.
but that's like it's expensive. I don't want to pay for that shit. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's
can
not
see
worth it
him.
for that, is it?
No, I can see him in night
Yeah.
vision. I'm happy with that. The other weird thing is that
What's your baby then?
huh?
What's your baby?
Oh, he's 10 months old.
Oh,
He's 10 months old today.
sorry, carry on.
Um,
Oh,
the cabinet that we keep in his room for his clothes, it's got drawers and like two doors that open on the top, but they latch, so like you need to like unlatch them. They keep
yeah.
opening on their own. We'll shut them and they'll open up on their own.
God.
I've watched them open
It's
up on their own.
crazy. It's crazy.
I thought it was maybe
It's
there was like a
like,
tilt in the floor or something, and that was keeping it from getting fully latched. Nope, it's perfectly flat. There's no reason why those doors are opening on their
uh,
own.
it's creepy.
It is.
I mean, essentially, it's not anything to really worry about, is it? But then, is it? Because poltergeists can be quite dangerous, can't they? Or very dangerous, I should say.
They can be. This one doesn't seem
Yeah.
malevolent. Like, I don't feel any negativity from it. And it only really seems to be in his
Yeah.
room. And it doesn't seem to, like, bother him. I mean, I've watched
Mm.
him interact with something that we can't see before. Like, he'll reach out to it and whatnot. Like he wants to be picked up. Or, like, he's, like, holding its hand
Mm.
or something. But, like, it doesn't seem to be doing any harm. It doesn't seem to be, like, trying to hurt him. You know, it doesn't seem
Yeah.
to do anything to be malevolent. It just seems to kind of just chill around. So, you know, I don't really think about it too
It's
much.
alright.
My wife and
Yeah.
I have accepted that there's a resident ghost in his room. It's just life.
Oh. Yeah. But they also say as well that, oh, am I getting this confused with demons now? You should just ignore them anyway. If you give them too much attention, that can exacerbate it or something.
I think that's like, I think it depends on the ghost. If it's like a malevolent ghost or it's evil and it just wants to cause harm, the more you pay attention to it, the worse it gets. But I mean, I've paid a lot of
Mm.
attention to ours, and it doesn't seem to be getting any worse. It just seems to be chilling
Okay.
around. Um, I've
Have
it's
to do some research on where you're living and see if you can find any history on any deaths or
oh
anything.
yeah,
Or
someone died in the house like I think a few months before we moved in,
oh, jeez.
or like a few months before the people who lived here before us moved in. Yeah, probably about
Oh,
2 years ago. He was a very old man, very elderly. He had caretakers in here
Probably
24/7.
he's probably just looking for his teeth.
Maybe.
He's going, where's my teeth gone?
Apparently the poor guy was on like 24/7 care and like he had nurses or whatever coming in all the time, but I guess they weren't taking very good care of him, and like one day they didn't show up,
Oh,
and he had passed away that day because no one showed up to help him,
oh,
and
that's sad.
yeah, I guess he just died in the house. And
Yeah.
no one told us about this before we moved in, and it would have been very nice to
No.
know.
Isn't that a law that the realtors have to tell you
um,
about deaths or
it's a
something?
it's a rental, so I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. So if you were buying it, then that'd be different.
Yeah, if I was buying it, then by law they are supposed to tell you if someone passed away because I think they can be sued if I could be wrong, but I
Yeah.
think you can sue if they don't tell you something like that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I've seen it in movies, so
Yeah,
that's how I know.
that's how I know too. Like,
Oh dear.
oh man. So, why did you choose to focus on narrations? I am curious.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I've never thought about it. I love horror. Love listening to Let's Read and Lazy Masquerade and all those guys. Or fuck it, why don't I just give it a go? And that was it, really. That's all I've got to say. Nothing, anticlimactic, nothing like that. Nothing exciting to say about it. It's
Okay.
like listening to other people, and I'd give it a go.
Um. Yeah, I think Lazy Masquerade is a big one for a lot of people. He's just always been so popular.
Yeah,
I think it's his voice. His voice and his storytelling are just amazing.
yeah, yeah. I think Americans. I don't want to speak on your behalf, of course, but Americans like the English accent for this kind of thing.
Agreed.
Heard.
I agreed.
Yeah,
I think the British tone just works really well for storytelling because it's pleasant sounding, it's enjoyable, uh,
yeah,
and it's very soothing. Not as someone, I grew up watching BBC. Like I didn't really watch a lot of American television. I watched Doctor Who. I watched a lot of BBC programs, and I don't know. I've
mm,
always liked the British accent much more than
yeah,
American. But
mm,
when it comes to American voices, I do like Mr. Creepypasta and
yeah.
Corpse Husband. But when it comes to the
Hmm.
British accent, I find that a lot. I find for myself, and this seems to be common with other people I've had on the show, that people like Lazy Masquerade, Mortis Media, you know,
Yeah,
people with British accents just seem to be very popular in the narration community.
yeah, yeah. It's good for me then.
Yes, I mean your growth shows that you're very popular.
Yeah. Fingers crossed it keeps going like that. So.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time I had for this episode. Um, I am
Okie
gonna,
dokie.
I'm gonna have you back. I hope you know this. I'm gonna make sure you know this. You're coming back at some
Okay.
point. I hope so. I'm gonna,
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna
Be happy to
try.
come back, yeah.
Did you enjoy this?
Right. Did, thank you. Yes, I did very much. A lot of fun. Nice to just talk to somebody I've never talked to before,
I talk
which
a
is
lot.
cool.
I talk a lot, so it's kind of perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you everybody for hopefully sitting through all of this and enjoying this. Please go like and subscribe to Miss Fearsome. I'll put her channel in the description below, and her Twitter. And yeah, she's an amazing narrator. I really love her work. I've listened to 8 videos of her so far, but she has so many more and so many interesting stories. So please go check her out. Please subscribe and like this video for more great content coming your way. Goodbye, everybody, and remember, you are loved and you are validated always.